Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who is a 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing to sneeze at all. He was a 5-time All-Pro, a Walter Payton Man of the Year, 2-time NFL sacks leader, and a hell of a philanthropist. Now he's an executive producer of a TV show, a host of a TV show. He's taking over the world while saving it. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin James, J.J. Watt.
You are too kind. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, man. Oh, that's true, though. That's an insane resume to think about. I was watching your Wisconsin commencement speech, which you did incredible, by the way. I assume
Thank you. I was trying to just keep pace with you after what you did at the NFL draft.
Well, I think you were much more motivating than I was, which is a smart move. Were you nervous as hell for that?
I honestly wasn't. I was excited about it, and I would have been nervous if I had to write it down, and I would have been nervous if they made me read it off a prompter like initially they talked about. But once they gave me the okay to just kind of talk and do it off the top of my head, then I wasn't as nervous because I knew what I wanted to say,
You freestyled that? You look so calm and collected. I had no idea that was just off the top of the head. That's incredible.
See, if you talk slow enough and you give yourself enough pauses, you can come up with anything.
That's my entire.
I was just winging it, and I just wanted to make him laugh. I mean, I'm from Wisconsin, so it's the easiest thing. It felt like I was at home. It felt like I was talking to a bunch of my family members, and I mean, you talk about spotted cow, you talk about cheese curds, and you're automatically going to be off to a hot start.
Are you happy you went before Robert Smith? Because now I think if you're a rich person, you're expected to pay off college debt.
I mean, I came in and I was thinking, all right. I'm not trying to blow the world away here. I'm not going to be on any list of top 10, but maybe for 2019, if I could make the top 5 speeches of 2019, and then Robert Smith comes along and just wipes the whole map out. Well, there goes that. My 2019 commencement speech is getting 0 YouTube hits from here out.
Really bad timing too. He didn't even let you really sit on it for a week. It was 3 days later.
What a baller move. Are you kidding me though? I mean, can you imagine just being able to know that you're going to step up there, whatever you're going to say before that, you could literally say nothing important for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to pay for student loans. I mean, it's insane.
You said in that speech, I think the thing that I took away most from it is when you said that both positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement can be a motivator for you. And you thought back to the night you were drafted, partying with your friends, your high school coaches, your family. Everybody was so proud of you. And that night before you went to bed, you decided to check the Twitter. And the first thing you saw was a Houston Texan diehard fan at the Houston Texan draft party booing obnoxiously directly into the camera out of anger of drafting this white kid from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I took away from that you are a massive chip on the shoulder guy. If you say I can't do something, I'm going to do it. Am I right there?
Absolutely. Yes.
And what you've done since then is go on to become the most dominant football player on the field whenever you're on it. That has to feel good. And how often, whenever you're working out, because I hear you overwork out, by the way, I hear you work out too much. What does J.J. Watt say to himself while working out? Fuck that guy on draft night. There's a lot of people who think I'm nothing. What is the self-motivation to J.J. Watt to continue getting better?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that where you find it from different sources. So obviously immediately after that, I had that in my head. I wanted to prove those people wrong. I wanted to earn their respect. And then throughout your career, you find different things, whether it's somebody saying somebody else is better than you, or it's somebody has more sacks than you, or there's always something to chase. But I think that over my career, that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned is that, I used to read Twitter all the time. I used to read all the stories. I used to read all the articles, and I let it mess with me early on because you get mad about it. I'm getting mad about somebody at ESPN who writes an article and says that I'm number 2 instead of number 1, or I'm getting mad because this person didn't vote for me for Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm finally I learned, I realized, why do I care? Why do I care what this person has to say? And I think the injuries really helped me with that. Because when I was injured for 2 years in a row, you realize how quickly people forget about you. So why am I putting so much stock into what these people say when 5 years after my career, they're not going to care about me? So I learned to put my stock into my family, my friends, and my teammates. And really, that was the most important thing to me now.
That's incredible to think of. That moment of freedom that you let yourself had to be an impressive one. You're reading all these things from people that don't matter, saying things about you. And then that moment of just being like, fuck them. That had to be that had to be an incredibly freeing feeling.
It was huge. I mean, it was because I remember early in my injuries, after my first injury where I'm out for the season, you get people saying he's done. He's never going to come back. He's never going to play again. Even if he does, he's not going to be the same. And that helped. It drove me down. And I was like, Jesus, can I? And one of the biggest things that helped me was my girlfriend. I mean, she literally helped build my confidence back up, saying, screw all them. Don't listen to them. Just go day by day. And so when I'd have a tough day and a down day, before I had somebody around every day to help pick me up, it was just me, my thoughts, and then social media. And so that was another really helpful thing to have her in the house every day to kind of be a balancing factor where I'm reading social media how bad I am or how bad I'm going to be. And then she's just like, no, you're not. You're going to be good. And I was like, oh, all right, maybe I will be.
Did you, because you were very private with your private life. And I don't know if it was a real thing or not, but people are saying you go to bed at like 9 p.m., you do this, you don't go out, and then your personal life was kind of non-existent. And then I remember there was an awkward moment on a red carpet we don't have to get into where you kind of got put in a bad spot, but then you started dating this professional soccer player named who? Kaylia. And it seems as if it's almost like you found a missing piece, the way you act on social media. This is just me from an outsider standpoint. It seems like you found like a real yin to your yang, and it seems like it's a really beautiful operation right now.
I appreciate it. She's great. I mean, you're going through earlier in your career and you have, like I said, social media. You go to these events, you do all these things, and the world wants to know so much about your personal life, but you're trying to figure it out yourself. So you don't want to be out there posting and doing all these different things when you don't know exactly the direction you're going. So once I found Kay and I obviously knew that she was special, then you feel comfortable with it. And then you don't feel like you have to be trying to live up to everybody's expectations or what they want. You're comfortable and happy with your life, and you share it when you want to share it. You don't when you don't want to. And I mean, that's the biggest thing. When I come home at the end of the day, if I can make her happy and she makes me happy, I mean, who cares what the world thinks, I
respect that so much. And if you make your dog's tail wag, I mean, that's all we're really looking to do.
That's why I'm sitting in my driveway right now, because as soon as I open that garage door, my dogs are going to go bananas. I mean, you want to talk about a way to not have kids for a long time? Just get a couple dogs.
Oh, amen. Hey, man, I'm on your team there. Let's go back to the chip on the shoulder. Is that why you left Central Michigan and went to Wisconsin, because you thought you were destined for something bigger than Central Michigan, or is it strictly because you wanted to go back home to Wisconsin?
No, I wanted more. I mean, I was at Central Michigan. I started at tight end there, but they ran the spread, and they had, I think I played like 15 plays a game, maybe 20, and there was writing on the wall that they wanted to move me to offensive tackle. So I said, if I'm going to do all this, I'm going to put in all this work. I mean, you know how hard it is, off-season workouts in college and all those workouts you do in classes. I said, if I'm going to put in all this work, I'm going to take the biggest shot I can take. I'm going to do it all. And I'm either going to go big or I'm going to fail. And thankfully for my parents, I mean, I told them when I was leaving high school, don't worry, I got college paid for. And we're a middle-class family. I mean, so it's not like we were rich and they had money in case No, they started planning for my brother's colleges because they thought mine was paid for. So for them to be able to tell me, okay, we can pay for 1 year at Wisconsin and allow me to gamble on myself, that was one of the biggest things, also a motivating factor for me. I wasn't only gambling on myself, but I was also proving to my parents that their investment was worth it.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Butch Jones, he was at West Virginia before he got up there to Central Michigan. What a wild fucking animal that guy is. Wild. You don't have to say anything. I will. Wild, wild animal. You get drafted to Houston, a guy boos, and then you just go on to be an absolute game wrecker on all 4 downs. Why did you choose to play special teams and fuck up everybody's life for a long time?
Oh.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I mean, you're one of the most fun players I've ever played against.
Oh, that means hold on, we're going to clip that for sure.
First of all, I mean, if we really want to get deep into things, I'm still upset that you didn't get the Monday Night Football gig. I mean,
we're going to clip that too. Thank you, JJ. Just keep them coming.
I just to see the pure brilliance that you would come up with on a weekly basis, and to see, I mean, it would have been the most clip-worthy program of all time. So
Oh man, JJ.
I'm on your side in that one.
Hey, you got a big brain. I can already tell. I respect that a lot. I like that a lot.
As big as your biceps.
For those that aren't watching on YouTube, I went and literally got a huge pump in right beforehand because I wanted JJ to be impressed with my sleeveless hoodie I got
Is
on.
this a one-day sleeveless shirt thing, or is this a daily?
It's my life, really. I get kicked out of a lot of places because of it.
I love it, man. A little sleeveless shirt and jorts. Nothing beats it.
It's funny you say that. I mean, that's literally my.
Those suckers are riding high too, brother.
Well, when you got quads, you got to let the world eat. Let the world know you got them.
How often do you punt now? Sorry, I just turned the interview on you. How often do you still punt?
No, I'm punting I'm leaving the options on the table. When I didn't get that Monday Night Football gig, wasn't certain if I was going to get a big enough media job to keep going because I need a big goal, right? So I need hey, I got this big thing happening. Now, granted, these podcasts massive. We run a business. Our business is good, but I need something large, like in the background that at night when I lay down, okay, I also got to do this. I got to focus on this. And when I didn't get the Monday Night Football gig, I was like, there's a lot of money being tossed around to people that kick balls, and there's a lot of shitty ball kickers out there right now. So I went out on a high school field a few times. I'm still kicking once a week, twice a week. I feel good.
Good, man. That's awesome. That's one thing I've learned is that you look at investment opportunities, you look at business opportunities, you look at movies, TV, everything. We make a lot of money to chase a ball around. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's really, you're FaceTiming us from your house right now. There is a Area 51 gate right behind your fucking, there is